Okay, good evening, everyone. We want to welcome you to Nurse Talk tonight. I'm Cindy Reed, and I'm a nurse here in the Nashville area, and my co-host is Doria Stewart, who is a nurse in the Atlanta area. And this is a platform that we use to share this breakthrough technology with people across the world. We have a very special guest tonight, Scott Francis, and we're going to introduce him a little bit later in the program tonight. But first of all, I want to state our disclaimer that redox signaling molecules do not diagnose, treat, or cure any disease. They just give the body what it needs to perform optimally. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to Doria. Doria does our little nurse nugget. So, Doria, you want to start with that?
Sure. Yeah. So thank you, Cindy. So we decided, since we're nurses, we like to educate. So we decided to do a little nurse nugget every week. And so since we are celebrating, this is National Colorectal Health Month, and I'm not going to go into some gory details like I did last week. So just going to be very generic with what I'm going to talk about this evening about probiotics. And we're just very blessed, and we can talk about this later about it. We have a wonderful product with our technology, or part of our technology, called the VIA line, and it's called Biome. So probiotics are involved in every systems of our body. And so what are they? They're live bacteria. And I didn't know this, they actually outnumber our cells by 10 to 1. So if we got like 72 trillion cells, just imagine how many. I don't know what the math is. I'm not a mathematician, but that's a lot of live bacteria that's circulating in our system. They're involved in every system of our body, and they have beneficial effects on our body. So what are the benefits? Well, they help digest food. They improve intestinal health. They lower cholesterol. They actually enhance our immune status, support brain health, and support hormone balance. So who needs to take probiotics? Now, I'm a nurse. I work in a gastroenterology office, actually a recovery room nurse. And so 100% of my patients need probiotics. So people that I think about all the anti-medications, antibiotics, antivirals, anti-inflammatory. So all those people that are on those anti-meds need to be on a probiotic. Those who have mental disorders like depression, anxiety, bipolar, to name a few. People that have chronic diarrhea, people that have allergies, people that have skin conditions like eczema, acne, people that have different digestive disorders like colitis and Crohn's disease, ulcerative colitis, people that have recently had sudden weight gain, and those that have autoimmune challenges. So that's important, that's why this is so important. I call it the purple top. And I'm not going to go into what's in this, but later on this month, we'll talk more about the ingredients in our biome. So thank you, Cindy.
Okay. Before we continue, I want to show you a short video that gives examples, or it demonstrates what this technology is and how it works. And you'll hear from some medical professionals on this as well. And then if you want to look at this website on your own, you can do that. And then you can go to the site and search categories based on whatever issues you may be having, and you can find lots of testimonials. I think we're up to 140 something testimonials on this website. So it's pretty amazing. So I'm going to share my screen here.
Hello, my name is Alan Noble. I've been involved in the health and wellness industry for over 30 years, and I'm very grateful to have the opportunity to introduce you to a cutting-edge health technology that we call ASEA Redox. ASEA Redox represents a new category in health and wellness that for 2 decades science had declared was impossible. It could not be done. And yet today, health and medical experts around the world are calling ASEA Redox one of the single greatest health science breakthroughs of our lifetime. Now, a great place to get started is to get clear on what ASEA Redox is not. It's not a vitamin, a mineral, an antioxidant supplement. It's not an exotic juice, essential oil, or a CBD oil. Now, there's nothing wrong with any of those things. I'm just saying they're not ASEA Redox. This technology goes beyond nutrition. It goes beyond ingredients, and yet it has the power to impact your health at a depth that no other supplement has ever come close to achieving. For many people, ASEA Redox is the missing link to better health and vitality. Now, to understand this technology, you've got to realize that your body is the most complex communication network on Earth. Every second of every day, your cells are signaling and communicating critical messages for health, healing, and repair. If there's any breakdown in that signaling, you cannot achieve your full health potential. You see, this signaling impacts every system, every organ, every function of your body. You could say that if your cells can't signal, then little else matters. Now, you've probably heard it said that we live and die at the cellular level. If you want a healthy heart, have healthy heart cells. If you want healthy lungs, have healthy lung cells. Well, as science looks deeper inside your 75 trillion cells, they've discovered a very special set of molecules called redox signaling molecules. These are the molecules that you make that are absolutely foundational for healthy cell signaling throughout your body. However, here's the challenge. With age, diet, stress, toxins, we begin to make less of these redox signaling molecules. And it's about 10% decline every decade. So by age 50, you've about half the signaling that you had when you were younger. And as a result, things just don't work like they used to. You begin to see, you begin to feel the effects of aging. A simple example. Imagine your home's on fire and you call the fire department and they're there with the big red truck, the firefighters, the fire hose. They've got everything they need to put out this fire. But what if you have a bad cell signal? They don't get the message. They don't know what the problem is, where the problem is, how serious the problem is, and your home goes up in smoke. Well, it's the same with your health. So let me ask you a very powerful question. What if? What if you could amplify and clarify this critical cell signal and empower your body to work like it's supposed to? That would be a game changer. So introducing ASEA Redox, the world's first and only cell signaling supplement powered by high energy redox signaling molecules. And since this technology is backed by 7 patents and over 1,000 trade secrets, there's no other supplement like it in the world. Now, not only is ASEA Redox a cell signaling technology, but it also signals at the profound depths of the genetic level. In an 8-week study, it was found that drinking ASEA Redox could increase 5 important gene signaling pathways by up to 31%, positively impacting 5 major areas of health: immune function, inflammatory response, cardiovascular health, digestive health, and even hormone balance. It's also been shown that ASEA Redox significantly impacts the NRF2 pathway, which is the master switch that signals the production of the most powerful antioxidants known to man, including the master antioxidant glutathione. Now, 2 separate university studies showed that ASEA Redox increases NRF2 activation by up to 60%, resulting in an increase of glutathione production by up to 55%. So although ASEA Redox is not your traditional antioxidant supplement, its impact on antioxidant health is nothing short of astonishing. Now, this is just one key on the ASEA piano. ASEA Redox is much more than an NRF2 activator or an antioxidant supplement. Remember, signaling impacts every system, every organ, every function of your body. If your cells can't signal, then little else matters. So at this point, let's hear what health and medical professionals are saying about the ASEA Redox breakthrough.
Inside every cell in your body, you're constantly producing negative and positive molecules called oxidants and reductants. And the contraction of that name is redox.
So with these molecules, we're amping up that communication. We're helping that cell signal.
Without these cell signaling molecules, we simply wouldn't do the gene replication that we need, the DNA sequencing that we need. These redox signaling molecules interact throughout the body with every cell that we know.
Every cell in our body needs these molecules for communication purposes. The more balanced they are, the more abundant they are, the healthier we are.
ASEA actually has the combination of the oxidants and the reductants that the body makes. So all we're doing with ASEA is enhancing what the body is already doing.
Having a product, a technology that's native to the body doesn't have to worry about detoxifying it because it knows exactly what to do with redox molecules. It's one of, if not the safest recommendation I ever make to a patient.
They found a way to stabilize them outside the body. You can actually put them back into bodies that are deficient in those molecules. That's a game changer.
To have something that at its molecular level is native to the body is nothing short of a breakthrough.
This is something that's foundational for health, for every cell. It affects every cell in our body. And not just the cells, but the very DNA within those cells. You know, we talk about the discovery of DNA as being a huge breakthrough, the discovery of penicillin. Yes, these were absolutely huge discoveries, but now we have something that actually goes even deeper.
So hopefully you're beginning to see why this technology is being hailed as one of the most significant health science breakthroughs of our lifetime. It's empowering people to feel better than ever before. For many, it is the missing link to better health and vitality. And it's not just health. Athletes are experiencing improvements in endurance, strength, and recovery, beating personal bests and breaking documented world records. In a university study, mice drinking ASEA Redox for only 7 days ran 29% further to exhaustion due to significant metabolic shifts in their bodies as they started to burn more fat as fuel. And so amateur athletes all the way to Olympic athletes are enjoying the ASEA athletic advantage. Now, after another 5 years of research and development, the scientists behind ASEA Redox were able to develop Renew 28, a topical gel that is infused with these powerful high-energy redox signaling molecules. So you've probably heard it said that seeing is believing. Well, when Renew 28 is applied to the skin, it results in a healthy, clear complexion, tighter, younger-looking skin, while dramatically reducing wrinkles, stretch marks, cellulite, and many other signs of aging. It also improves skin cell renewal rates and increases skin cell blood flow. We also discovered that when you apply Renew 28 to anywhere that hurts, ideally 3 applications in 5 minutes, over 90% of people notice a significant reduction in their discomfort. Now, I do want to point out that we have continued to expand our range of redox signaling products to include an intensive redox serum for those little trouble spots, and then more recently the redox clay mask, combining our redox signaling gel with an ultra-pure bentonite clay. And so headed up by the big blue bottle, this is our cell signaling product division. However, we have 4 product divisions in total. We offer a very clean and effective skincare system called Renew Advanced, high-quality bioavailable nutritionals called ASEA Via, and more recently, fun functional beverages called Cell Performance that address fatigue, brain fog, stress, as well as a vegan amino acid formula that helps your body build its own valuable collagen. Now, of course, the purpose of this video was to introduce you to our remarkable cell signaling technology. Now, we have other videos and websites that go a lot deeper into this health science breakthrough. But for now, I would encourage you to explore some of the other videos on this website. This is where you're going to hear how this technology has impacted people's lives. And some of these stories are absolutely astonishing. Real people sharing real redox results. So this is Alan Noble thanking you for your time today, and bye for now.
Every time I watch that, I seem to pick up one more thing that I missed. So it's very informative and educational. So now we're very honored to have Scott Francis on as our guest speaker tonight. And Scott has an amazing bio. I've heard him in person, and he has an amazing testimony as well. So Scott has been a top-rated keynote speaker and a corporate entertainer to hundreds of companies for the past 40 years. He's originally from Boston. I'll say it like Bostonians do, Boston, Massachusetts, but now lives in Charlotte, North Carolina, with his lovely wife, Dee Dee, of 32 years. Scott has 4 brothers, one of which we may hear some about tonight. His top 3 favorite things are to go on a date with his wife, Dee Dee, to go fishing, and to make people laugh, and that he does. And I'll add, he's also a pretty good magician. So, Scott, I'm going to let you start off. I want to give you a question. Tell us how you were introduced to ASEA Redox and what was going on in your life at that time.
Okay, I'm a stand-up comedian. One of the things that I do, and clean, I should say clean. I like being clean. And there was a man in the audience named Chuck Tyndall, and he happened to see me do a comedy show. And I got through with my show, and this man comes up with this little tube, and he says, "Hey, put this on your neck." And I'm like, I don't know who you are. I don't know what that is. And I'm like, I'm not the type that will do that. I said, you don't know it, but I am also a motivational speaker. So I research the heck out of things and before I try it. And so I said, give me, he asked me 5 or 6, maybe 7 times. It was a lot of times. And I finally was leaving the comedy show. And he said, "You sure?" And I said, "I'll see you in 2 weeks." And I researched it, and it just got more amazing. When I found out it was you raise your glutathione level 800 points or something, I was just like, wow, that is incredible to do that. And so I said, well, it can't hurt me. So I went over to his showroom, like I said, and he has a furniture showroom. And I went over there and I said, all right, I'm ready. It's not going to hurt me. So let's do it. He said, "What's ailing you?" And I said, well, I disconnected on the back of my shoulder a rib from a muscle. So and it hurt real bad. And I had it for about a month and a half, 2.5 months, something like that. And I went to go have it checked out, and my doctor said it'll be another, probably 2-3 months, maybe, because of your age. And I said, okay, that's cool. And here's a furniture guy telling me, you want that to go away? And I said, sure. And I was like, right. And so I put it on my carotid artery right here, and I put a dab right here and on my fingers, and then just a dab of the tube, just like this. And he said, walk about 30 feet. And in 20 seconds, I went like this, and 85% was gone. And I said, wow, that's amazing. And I said, can we do that again? Let's do that again. And I did it, and it went away. And I said, wow, I was blown away. So that was my first time trying a Renew 28. And in 20 seconds, I mean, here's a furniture guy getting me results when I couldn't get results myself. So that was pretty remarkable. So that started me on my journey of believing in redox.
Okay, so since then, are you taking the liquid redox, I'm assuming?
Yes. What I did is I learned the tube first, and I wanted to kind of master using that. And I was dreaming up stuff. I mean, I was like, my wife would say, I have a toe cramp, and I said, try this. And I have a headache, and I said, try this. Put it on right here. We were trying everything, and to be honest with you, I was looking for stuff because I just wanted to see how many things can this thing, help. And so I didn't tell anybody about it for like a year because I wanted to make sure that I knew what I was talking about. And as a speaker, motivational speaker, you research things. So when you're on stage, you're not just, talking about anything, you really know what you're talking about. And so I started using the liquid afterwards, and I had holes in my stomach. So every time, in fact, I went to the emergency room and they couldn't figure out what it was. And I had holes in my stomach. And so every time I ate, I would feel, I would just feel dizzy, and, just weird things were happening. And I thought I was going to pass out. And so I started taking the liquid, and I took it for, I think, a week or two. And I said, Chuck, this isn't working. And he said, just keep doing it, just keep doing it. And so I got my miracle after 3.5 weeks. And I said, wow, I can eat whatever I want now. So I used to be afraid of like sesame seeds on a cheeseburger. And now I can eat them. I'm not afraid at all. So I can eat anything I want. So I'm very blessed to be able to do that. And so the liquid and the gel combined is quite a team.
How much are you drinking of the liquid?
Right now, you know what? It depends on, I'm 63 years old, and it depends on what I have going on. If I'm going to work on my house and I'm going to go up and down a ladder 30 times, you know, I'll drink 16 ounces or 8 ounces at least, or 16 ounces. Or if I had a rough day, didn't sleep good or whatever, I'll drink 8 ounces. So I tell people I have a drinking problem, and it's called redox. And I just if I could put enough redox in a swimming pool and go swimming in it, I probably would do that. So it's an incredible product. I'm so happy. And every time I see Chuck, I want to shake his hand or hug him because he changed my health. Anybody that changes your health from a 4.5 to a 9.5 in 3.5 weeks, you kind of are very grateful for that. So it's just been wonderful. So
Absolutely.
yeah, so it fixed my shoulder, then it fixed my my holes in my stomach, and then I went to tell my brother about it. And for 6 months, I told him about it, and he said, "Yeah, maybe I'll try it sometime," or something like that. And then one day he called me, and I have 4 brothers, and he said, "I want to tell you something, and I'm embarrassed to tell you." And I said, "What's that?" He said, I don't know if I want to live anymore." And I said, "What's going on?" And he had a brain trauma. He was eating Chinese food, and he disconnected something in his neck, and he had brain trauma. I mean, he was in intensive care for, I think, 4 months. And so it was just haywire, and we thought we were going to lose him. And so he was calling me to say, I'm going to hurt myself, because every time it rained, he was in severe pain and headaches and just all kinds of stuff. And when he walked down a hallway, he would touch his shoulder on both sides of the hallway. So he was just all over the place. And so he was very dizzy, and he said, "I don't want to live anymore. It's not worth it. I'm in so much pain." And I said, "You know, this stuff I keep on telling you about?" And I said, "Would you please take it?" And I said, "Just try it, would you?" And he said, "Sure." So I drove up the next day, and he was sitting on his golf cart in his driveway, and I poured him 8 ounces, and I said, "Drink it. Don't fight me." And he did not fight me at all. He took it, and boom, took 8 ounces right away. So here's a guy that shakes back and forth. You see him doing this, and he walked with a cane, and he was shaking like this, and he drank 8 ounces, and all of a sudden he walked smooth as glass up an incline of a driveway, and put his arms out and spun around like Julie Andrews in The Hills Are Alive. And he just spun around, and he goes, "Do you see this?" And he wasn't shaking at all, and he didn't use his cane. And I said, when he said he was going to try it without his cane, I said, "Mark, wait a couple of weeks or something." He said, "No, Scott, I'm feeling it." And he says, "Is this supposed to clear your head?" And I went, "Yes, it's one of the things that can happen." He said, "Because my brain fog's going away." And he said, "Does it do anything for allergies?" I said, "Go ahead and spray it," like that. So he sprayed it in his nose and his eyes and his ears. And he said that cleared it up. And he was astounded with what was happening. And so his wife just came home like about a half hour later, and he did the same spin that he did for me. And she said, "Wow, I haven't seen that, by the way, in 14 years. So he was walking with a cane and shaking like this for 14 years, and then just stopped. And I witnessed all that. And I wish I had videotaped it, but I didn't want him to be, you know, like a specimen, you know what I mean? I didn't want to put him under the microscope. So I just let it happen. But to witness it as a human being, to see someone go from this to this is just nothing short of remarkable.
Scott, I think that's the fastest result I have heard for something like that.
It's
Um,
incredible.
that's amazing. And to be
It
there and
is.
witness that. So yeah,
Yes.
that was going to be my question, how long he dealt with that issue, but that's a long time to deal with
Yes, it
that and
is.
then have that
Yes,
remarkable. Wow, that is, I would have loved to have seen that myself. I'm sure the wife was shocked just
she
seeing.
was. And in the coming weeks and months later, he made her dinner. He cleaned the house. He did all kinds of things that he couldn't read a menu at a restaurant. He had to just have her read it for him. And he started reading the menu. He started doing crossword puzzles. I mean, it's incredible. And it continues. And he calls me up every once in a while and he says, you know, I have either says zeal or zest for life. And he says, gosh, I'm really enjoying life now. And to be part of that, listen, we give God all the credit, no question about it. We wouldn't have redox. You know, God was the originator of redox, but to have redox now available to us is just incredible. It's incredible.
That's
So
amazing.
if you offered me $1 million for me and my family not to take it, I would say keep your million. I'd rather have the health that we're enjoying from redox. It's incredible.
And I've heard from several people in the past, the worse your body is off balance with redox, the
Yes.
faster results you may get because you're so sensitive to anything that could improve, you know, the least amount of trauma that you're having. So
Wow, I
that's
haven't
pretty
heard that.
amazing. Yeah, that's so some people don't get results. They may not have that much going on, but it may be big to them, but compared to your
Yes.
brother, not necessarily. So that was pretty cool.
Well,
So
to
how,
lose,
go
oh,
ahead.
go ahead. Go
No,
ahead.
go ahead.
I was going to say to lose your fishing buddy and then
Mm,
to get your fishing buddy back. And he was my number one guy that I go fishing with. And we have this look, and when we're on the river and we're fly fishing and we just look over at each other and we just nod each other. We don't yell back and forth and we just nod like, are you in heaven? I am. Are you? And we have this nod and it's a look, and to get that back is just wonderful to see him, you know, do that again. He has a stream behind his house and he's in it all the time.
Oh, that's awesome. It's just amazing to be able to do that after what he's gone through.
Yes.
So, do you share this technology with people?
Yes, I do. I actually share it with. I cannot not mention it. You know, when I see someone in pain or in discomfort or whatever they have challenges, I said, "Are you open to something?" If they say no, okay, conversation over. If they're open, then okay, let's talk. But I usually say I have something that like if you asked me my whole life what I believed in, um, uh, I would say vitamin C, echinacea. I about stop there. That's the ones I really believe in because I'm a speaker. And if you're getting sick right before a presentation in front of 1,000 people, and you take vitamin C and echinacea and kind of dodge like the Matrix, just, you know, dodge a cold, you know, it's like, that's pretty cool. And so I haven't talked about anything for 25 years. Those are the only two things that I talked about. And then I found out about redox, and now I talk about it almost every day to people. So
Awesome.
I get a kick out of seeing things. Now my brother's results was the biggest result, and then I would say myself, and then my wife. She had hip discomfort, and she got rid of that, and she had migraines, and we were going out to dinner with a comedian friend of mine, and he was in town, and he took her for a ride in his new Tesla, and she went so fast in the car that she kind of got a headache. And she said, "Oh gosh, I'm not going to be able to join you guys." And I said, "Why don't you try the Renew?" And she said, "Okay." And she put it here and on her throat and right here. And 3.5 minutes later, she said, let's go to dinner. It was incredible. Usually it's 2 hours, 3 hours window for a migraine, and she has to get in a dark room and, just cover her eyes and all this. In 3.5 minutes, it went away. So that's pretty cool.
That's awesome. So you have, I just say 4 brothers. What about the other brothers? Have they experienced any results? Are they taking it?
They all take it, all of them.
Of
I mean, one had a kind of a gross accident. He was kicking something, and a wire, a steel barb from I think it was from rebar or from cement or something, and it was sticking up, and he kicked it, and it went through his calf. And so what did he think of immediately? He went to the Renew 28 and he started putting on, he says that pain was just unreal. And he grabbed that. Have another brother that he had trouble with his thumb, something with his hand. And he said that, his elbow, I think it was an elbow and tennis elbow or something like that. I don't know what it was something like that. And he put it on his elbow. It's been gone ever since. I have another brother that has a back spasms, and he uses it for that. So everybody's been using it. So I have my whole family. Usually your family look at you like you have 2 heads if you're telling them about something, because they look at you like you're a comedian or you're a magician or you're a seamstress or whatever. And when you have cutting edge technology, it's foreign to them for it to come from you. I think that's why. So, but I got lucky, and they all got results, and so they all know it works. So I carry it everywhere I go. I carry it everywhere with me at all times, 24/7.
It's like a first aid kit in a tube.
I do. In fact, let me show you this. So it's kind of dirty now, but it's just a phone case, a large phone case. I put the spray in
Nice.
there. I put the tube. And I'm going to
Nice.
show you something. So it fits nice in a large phone case. Now, I tell people as a joke, of course, I'm a comedian, so I'm going to look for the funny. And I tell people if God forbid I ever got shot out in a parking lot, it would look like this. Bam. Ow. Okay. And they said, we'll call in an ambulance. And I go, you go ahead. I'll start in right now. And that's the truth.
That's pretty cool.
So I love having, I've been bailed out so many times with that. I was doing a home improvement thing, and I was walking in Home Depot. My knee just gave out. It just gave out, and it was a lot of pain in my knee all of a sudden. And I stopped, put the Renew 28 on my knee, and 30 seconds to a minute, I started walking like nothing happened. And so I feel like I have a medical doctor with me at all times. That's what I feel. And so I'll be using it the rest of my life. It makes the ride a little smoother. Let's just say that.
I like that. And talking about your family not listening to you because, you're not this or you're not that. Don't feel bad. I'm a nurse and my family doesn't listen to me, so I think it's
Oh, is
just
that right? Oh,
everybody
wow.
because I'm family. If it had been a different nurse, if Doria had talked to them, I'm sure they would listen.
Isn't that something?
Mhm.
Sometimes it's third party. And I have a soft spot for nurses. I speak to them every year, some nurse groups, and
All right.
I just think you guys do so much work, and it's so taxing to do that. And I mean, I'm not a nurse, but I see what you guys do, and you do most of the work, I think.
Well, thank you.
And I really see that. So I have a soft spot for you guys. Anybody that cares for people is thank you for doing that.
Thank you. Well, thank you because you give people and patients laughter. Laughter's the best medicine.
That's right. That's exactly
Mhm.
right.
Better
So
than
we need to
anything
laugh.
else.
Do you think the world needs to laugh more?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Especially now. Yes.
absolutely.
So you need to make your rounds all the way around the country and spread the laughter.
That's right. That's exactly right. So,
So I have,
but
go ahead.
no, go ahead. I was just going to say, I'm just so thrilled. I want to let you know too, as a magician, 63 years old, I can do some card tricks that are amazing that I started having trouble with. And I put some Renew on. I take my ring off because the metal, cancels out the signal, and I put it on my hand, and it's amazing. It really is amazing. I can still do some moves with my hand, card tricks and stuff like that when I was 25. So I'm very thankful for redox in my life.
That's pretty cool. And you have a good testimony, not just with yourself, but with your brother as well. So that
Yes,
should pull people in. So you have a personal testimony with him. And you have a
we
great
actually talked today.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, and
Okay.
we talk doses, like what happens. I'm baffled when some people say it does not work. And I think I know what's happening. I think they're just not doing it right. They're not taking enough, or they're not doing it frequently enough. And so when they don't get results, I feel bad because, oh gosh, give it a shot. Because if I had stopped with the holes in my stomach, if I stopped at 2 weeks, I wouldn't have got that miracle at 3.5 weeks. You know what I mean?
Well,
So
right.
it's like, so I encourage anybody that's not getting results, do more and do it more frequently and watch what happens.
And with some people, it takes even up to 3 months. And even with me, I
Sure.
saw things improving like a year or so later. So it takes a while. I mean, you're continually
Okay.
working. And now I saw some results early, but some of
Sure.
the major things, it took several months to a year. So, but we
Yes,
know it's working because the science is there and we have the proof. So we're not on trial.
that's right.
So I'm
So,
going to turn, oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
oh no, I was just going to say, I am so glad that, I checked my phone and the battery died, and I was close to Chuck's showroom, so he let me use his office here.
Oh,
And
nice.
so I am so glad that I got to charge up, and I was like, so it all works out. God is good.
That's right. Well, give Chuck a thanks for introducing you to this.
I
I'm
will.
going to turn this over to Doria. Doria may have some questions for you as well. And if anyone has questions, they can put them in the chat and we'll let Scott answer them.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Doria, are you still there?
Oh, yes, I'm still here. It was wonderful. So I have some generic questions here. So when you said you did your research,
Yes.
where did you go?
I didn't know about PubMed and what's the other one? What was the Google?
Scholar Google.
Yeah, I didn't know about those. So I searched, and when I say I searched, 15 hours. So I'm a researcher, and so I put 15 hours in. After I started taking redox, I made it 50 hours, then it became 100 hours, then hundreds of hours, and I'm still learning about redox, and I'm like going, so I don't know what this can do. I just keep on going. Something just happened. Now I've been taking it for about 3 years now, and something just happened recently that is it's a small thing, but as a nurse, I think you'll understand why it's good. So I'm 63 years old, and when you put jeans on and you wear the hair on your legs off, because you're not wearing shorts in the wintertime, and I didn't have a lot of hair on my legs. It started disappearing, and my grandmother and my dad had poor circulation in their legs. They always had to put their legs up. And I said, huh. So I've been taking redox for 3 years, and I'm starting to get hair growing back on my legs. And, like when I was like, 20 and 30, and I'm like going, huh. And why I smiled is, I don't care about the hair. I don't care about that. Why I smiled is I know that it's improving my circulation. So there's circulation in the legs and hair's coming back. So that means better circulation. I'll take it.
Absolutely.
Isn't that
Yes,
great?
I've been on the product almost 5 years. And like you said, you're learning. I'm always learning something new every time. I'm
It's so
always,
great, isn't it?
yeah, it is. So so what did you think? The amazing thing is you talked about your shoulder getting
Yes.
better, your stomach
Yep.
was healing, your wife's hip improved. She no longer dealt with these headaches. Her toe discomfort was gone. So what were you thinking in your mind? Like, how does one product, ASEA, affect all those areas? I mean, what were you
Well,
thinking in your head?
well, with the research, I knew that if you can get rid of the bad cells and have good cells, what else is there? You know, we get all these millions, trillions of cells, and if we're killing off the bad ones and have good ones, we're just going to work better. So it's actually your body, you know, healing itself, and to have something that will assist you in so many areas. It's just, I know it sounds crazy, and people don't like to hear one call does it all, but you know, I'm just telling you, it does a lot. Let's just say that, and it just keeps on giving. And I don't know what the future holds. Who knows? It might be stronger someday, or it might be, you know, I'm so excited. I feel like I'm, you know, just like on the edge of my seat, just like I want to see what else is this going to do. And so I just know that I'm a lifer, and I'm taking it the rest of my life, and I take it every day. And so isn't it amazing that if I have a challenging day, like going up and down a ladder, that I can adjust and take more redox and be ready for it. And then if it's a normal day, I'll just take 4 ounces in the morning and 4 ounces in midday, you know, when you get that lull. And then at night, I don't take 4 because it keeps me awake. So I noticed that I back off with 2 ounces. And so I usually do 4, 4, and 2. That's my normal dose. And for me, and for someone else, it might be totally different. So I think when Chuck said your body will tell you what you need, I thought he was crazy saying that to me, but it's exactly that. Your body will tell you exactly what you need, and you just got to listen to your body.
For sure. You got to find your sweet spot. That's what it
That's
is.
it. That's
All right.
exactly right.
Yeah. So we've talked about this wonderful technology. We've already heard from the testimonies that you've shared what it's done. What can you speak on the culture of our company?
How do you mean?
So the
Like,
people that you've been in, I've been in almost 5 years. You've been taking the product for what, 3 years now, three
yep,
or 4 years?
three and a
Okay.
half, three and a
So
half, I
the
think.
people that you've met along the way,
Okay, I'm
yeah.
just going to say, if I had to say in a nutshell, I find that it's people that get involved with redox are people that care. I just think they care about people. And you know, I was talking to a father one time, and he said that a gas grill blew up in his face and he lost his eyebrows. And he said it was a horrific accident. And he says, I have 4 children and all this happened. Well, after this was years prior to what he was talking to me. And I said, boy, you told me about that thing. You know, I burned my little baby finger just on the grill, just a little bit. And it kept on burning. And I put the Renew on it. And in, I think it was like 4 seconds, it was gone. And it didn't come back. I was getting ready to put ice on it. And then I thought of him. And I brought it to him and I said, hey, this Renew stuff really does wonders with burns if that ever happens to you or your kids. And he goes, no, I'm good. And I'm like, I'm baffled with that. You know, here's a guy that went through a horrific accident. I told him what it did to my pinky. And what if your kids experience that? So to me, there's people that care and there's people that don't care. So, I mean, he said, I'm good. And I felt like saying, what about your 4 children? Are they good? I was like, I know one thing. I'm going to make just a prediction. In the future, I think redox will be in every first aid kit. That's my prediction, but I'm just, you know, one man. So we'll see what happens in the future. But I tell people, they always ask me, what is that on your side? You know, this little thing. So what is that on your side? I said, I don't know, but if something happens to me, start putting it here. And if I'm burned anywhere, put it anywhere I'm burned. You know what I mean? It's like, if your eyes are burning, spray it in your eyes. I mean, it just goes on and on. So can you tell I like redox?
Yes, for sure. But the unfortunate thing is, all we're supposed to do is educate and share this technology and what people,
Right.
I mean, you can't, that people just don't understand what you know. And as you know, we've been in, both of us and Cindy and a lot of people on this call have been taking it for a long time. So we've seen the benefits of how it's impacted people. And, you know, but it's people that when we're sharing the first time, I think they think this is too good to be true, you know.
It is. I think they think that too. Yeah. So, but it's a thing that you just listen to your body, just take it. And I tell people a challenge. I say, I'll tell you what, why don't you get one tube, live with it for a month, and see what happens when I take that away from you. And I'm like, I think you'll want it back. So, you know, it's, you know, Zig Ziglar used to say, you know, as a copying machine, let someone have a copying machine in their office and then take it out. And you have to go to, you know, Kinko's. But to me, it's like, it's right in the house and you can use it anytime. So I think if you live with it for 1 month, and you wouldn't want to not live without it, because you don't know what's going to happen. You have no idea. And so, you know, accidents happen and we don't know what's going to happen at any time. But I know for me, I have it within 3 feet with arm's reach anywhere I'm at. And if I see someone hurting, of course, I'm going to help them. Sure. And if they're open to it.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm good. So thank you for answering my questions.
Thank you. Thank you guys for doing this.
Well, I see a couple of questions in the chat. Let's see.
Sure.
How much is your brother continuing to take now daily? And in the beginning, did your brother hold the redox in his mouth a bit before swallowing the 8 ounces?
He did not in the beginning. He learned that afterwards. And when I told him, he said, this stuff isn't working. I take it with my coffee every morning. And I'm like, this is why some people aren't getting results. And I was like, no, Mark, you can't take it with your coffee. And he said, oh no. He said, well, I put it in my metal holder cup. And I went, no. I said, so if you're educated on it and you know that, you know, put it in glass or ceramic, and that's the only way. Well, I have a funny story, actually. Mark, my brother Mark, put redox in. He probably takes, he's like me, he goes up and down, you know, but I'd say he averages 6 to 12, something like that, ounces a day. So when he had the coffee mug and he had his 4 ounces in the morning, he put the redox in it, he put it on the table, and he came out and the cat had drank all the redox. which I thought was funny, and I think that animals intuitively know that redox is good, because why did that cat that, you know, usually drinks milk, you know what I mean, and why did they drink the redox? I mean, before he got out of the bathroom, it was all gone. That's pretty amazing.
That is funny.
So even a cat knows that redox is good.
And a lot of people do use them on their pets, and they've had some great results. So it's like they say, whatever has a cell, it could be a plant, it could be an animal or human. One more thing in the chat. It says, I have a friend in Charlotte and she wants to meet Chuck. What's the name of the furniture store? Chuck's furniture store.
Tyndall Furniture. And so Tyndall Furniture, and it's right on the border of North Carolina and South Carolina on 521 Johnson Road.
Okay. Any other questions? Go ahead.
I'm in South Carolina right now, so I said I was in North Carolina earlier, but I'm right over the border. I forgot.
Okay. Well, it's close enough to count, I guess.
That's right.
Any other questions in the chat for Scott? Scott, this has been awesome. Oh, and if anyone wants to go to realredoxresults.com, you can see Scott and his brother's testimony. It's number 120. Is that correct, Scott?
I'm not sure what's right. That
It
sounds
is.
right.
It's 120.
Okay. You need to learn that.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, this has been amazing, Scott, and we appreciate. Anyone else have a question? I was looking to see.
There's a Shane Fund and it has a question, but can you put it in chat? Are
they typing?
I know Shane.
Okay.
You know Shane? Okay.
Yes, I do. He's a great guy.
Okay.
I love Shane.
I can't see the whole screen.
It just says question. So Shane, you can put your question in the chat. We'll We'll ask it. Are you able to do that?
Okay, how many solutions you have, Scott, with redox?
Okay, I know this is going to sound strange when I say this, but remember, I looked for stuff for a year for me and my family. I was experimenting with it. I got up to, I think it was 77 things.
Wow.
I know that sounds crazy. I don't even want to say it anymore because it sounds crazy, but it's like, but I went anywhere from I mean, I could list them one day, but if I just, you know how you get a little twitch in your eye, and you know, like if you're stressed, it's from stress, and I put Sprayed on it, it stopped. My eyes were burning. I sprayed it in there. I use it to stay awake. If it's late at night, I'll just go. Psst, I'll just use it. I've put it in. You know, if you have a sore throat, I've done it in my nose. I know this is going to sound weird, but when you start spraying it in your nose and your face, you have, I don't know what other way to say this, but you have less boogers, okay? So I think it just clears everything out. And I'm like, but I just know that, you know, when you blow in your nose, you notice that it's less. And I'm like, that's amazing to me. And so I've had earaches. I just sprayed in there. I had a weird pain on the top of your head. I was just sprayed it, and I soaked it and see what happens. My wife says it claims that it grows hair, and we have redox fights, by the way, and we have spray bottle on each side of our bedroom. So when we're watching TV in the bedroom, and I'll say, honey, will you make me some brownies? And she goes, I don't think I feel like it, or something like that. And I'll take the spray and I'll go, please, and I'll spray. And she goes, did you just spray me? And we'll just start spraying each other. So we call it redox. It's the healthiest fight you can have, the redox fight. So, and then she said, I have a little hole in my hair cut up here. And I bent over one night and she just went, psst, and I said, did you just spray hair? And she goes, yeah, I heard it grows hair a little bit, you know? So we've got some really funny. She said that she was using Renew one time, and she dropped one drop on her leather shoes, and she could have sworn it moved.
That would be a miracle.
Yeah, right. So we just, you know, we got to have fun with it. So we definitely have fun with redox. It you know, like I said, if I'm rich enough, I'll have a swimming pool someday. That'd be nice.
Redox. Scott, this has been great, and I appreciate you coming on. I know you're a very busy person, and we appreciate you taking your time to do this. And this will be uploaded to our YouTube channel, if that's okay, and anybody can go to it. It
Absolutely.
should be there
Sure.
tomorrow. We have to give a little
Great.
time to process tonight. Dory, I
Thank
want
you
to
so
turn it
much
back
for
over.
having me.
You're welcome.
Thank
You're
you
welcome.
so much for having me.
And I'm sure our
Yeah.
paths will cross again when when we're in Charlotte at some point, or conventions or whatever. But we love hearing. I loved your testimony at Charlotte, what, 2 years ago, something like that.
Yes. Well, I
Yeah.
look forward to seeing you. You get
Yeah.
both of you.
So, Dory, you want to introduce and tell who our guest is for next week?
Yes. So I also want to reiterate too that our YouTube channel is called Redox Nurse Talk. So you just put @ sign at Redox Nurse Talk. And so that's where it'll be uploaded. So next week we have Teresa Martinez. She is a licensed massage therapist and a wellness health coach. So that's who we'll have next Tuesday at 8 p.m. Here we're here every Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, 7 p.m. Central Time.
Yeah.
So
Well, we
I would say
appreciate-
I'm sorry. I'd say if you were invited as a guest. I see some recognized names on here, but I see some that I don't know. So if you were a guest and were invited to our Zoom, please get back to the person that invited you to it so they can answer your questions and give you more information on this wonderful technology.
That's exactly right. And we thank everyone for coming tonight, and y'all have a great night. I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording.